you started to invest into direct mail to see an impact?
And I can go. So it really wasn't the spend level. It was more so who can we reach that we currently aren't reaching. So we have a lot of people on our email list, obviously, with all those brands, and there's going to be a lot of people who aren't opening those emails. So we're going to send postcards to people who have either purchased and unsubscribed, whether they've purchased 180 to 365 days ago. People who received gifts, we have their actual physical mailing address, but maybe they never purchased from us. So different segments like that. We want to reach people who we can't reach via email, SMS, and other channels.
Yeah, I think similarly for us, we have a strong gifting component to our brand. So running a list of people who their billing address and the shipping address are different allows us to reach and make a reasonable assumption of who's been gifted this product and follow up with them. And then as well, I think for us, we've been around for over a dozen years now. So trying to use direct mail to try and reactivate some of those people who through email it's not as effective. We found that to be extremely powerful. And then I think the third is really less around how much we're spending, but when we're spending. So Q4 is a fantastic time for us to dive into direct mail, and we can talk about that a lot more.
We started a little over 3 years in with direct mail. I was somewhat reluctant about it because I have some experience in direct mail, but it was very easy to do. So once we got started with the suppressed list in Klaviyo, I found that to be really rewarding for us. And we started to roll out some flows, and it's done well for us.
How do you guys leverage direct mail currently? Do you use it as a channel that you couple with other channels? Do you run it as an isolated channel? How do you find it to be most efficient?
I mean, it hooks up right to Klaviyo. Like once we onboarded with PostPilot, like it's basically an extension of Klaviyo where you enter the list ID and you're filtering out people who are opening up emails and whatever segments that you want to hit on Klaviyo. If you want to hit them again with a win back, with whatever, PostPilot makes it, I mean, easy enough for me to figure out, and I'm sure all you guys can figure it out too.
I think for us, similarly, like it is integrated as part of our flow. I think it makes a lot of sense to test where in that flow is drives the best, whether that's right as a first touch point or as a closing last attempt. And then we've also used it for campaigns. We've done one-off specific campaigns. So we do every year we launch an advent calendar. It's a huge product for us. It's really strong. It's really good with our existing consumers and to get new into the brand, which we wouldn't have thought that it was great as a prospecting tool, but it's fantastic because of the value that's baked in. So we worked with PostPilot to test that out and drive that to reach in and really drive towards getting those customers.
We also use it in flows, and we do campaigns. The newest flow we have running right now is a birthday flow. It's been good. It took us a while to get it together. They make it very easy, which is fortunate for us because I'm the only person in marketing who works in marketing. So it's somewhat tough for me sometimes to roll these things out. They are definitely an extension of the marketing department. I have to thank them for that all the time. So I would say the birthday one is the most recent. So it's on my brain, and we started it in a month when a lot of brands were struggling, and we weren't really struggling that much. We had a really great month that month. I noticed that the spend was way up. I was like, wait a second, we spend a lot of money, but we also took in a lot of money from that segment of the birthday. So it's something that I ascribe to now.
Do you mind if I ask what's your birthday offer, or what are you giving on the
It's
birthday?
a discount. It's just a 10 off. So, hey, happy birthday. Here's 10 off. We're not usually on discounts. We don't give out like 20s. I wouldn't say we never do sales, but we don't do a lot of sales. We don't do a lot of big sales. Like July 4th, our sale was probably 10% of our SKUs were on sale. Two lines that really are not like great sellers. So we don't do a lot of discounts. And when you hit them with the birthday discount, 10 off, they respond.
Are you getting their birthday through pop-up or in checkout?
That's the one you're using our automated birthday flows, right?
What's that?
You're using our new automated birthday flow.
They
right?
are automated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I didn't know that. I didn't set them up for that at all.
we
Can you
know.
explain that?
Yeah. So we know a lot about all of your customers. We know the birthdays of 90% of your customers, even if you never collected that information. So recently Johnny is a good example of one of the more recent launches where we trigger a card to go out with a birthday greeting and a birthday offer or like birthday gift to your customers, even though you've never collected it. So we have it land right before their birthday, wish them a happy birthday, and tell them they can come and redeem a special offer with the brand.
Michael, as the platform creator, how do you recommend people run campaigns or just leverage, like how do you leverage the channel within your marketing mix?
Yeah, great question. So starting lower in the funnel is typically what we advise brands to do. Brands, historically, people think about direct mail and they think, let's like batch and blast everybody in a geo with this campaign and then see what it does. Bad idea. Start lower in the funnel. There's so many easy wins there. So many easy wins with the strategies that these guys are talking about, targeting people that haven't engaged with your brand recently or haven't engaged through other channels. Bank those easy wins and then work your way up the funnel. And now we have a real full funnel solution. So you can do retargeting. So for example, I know they were referring to targeting people who signed up for your email list but never bought, so you don't have their address. We know the addresses of all these folks on your email list. We can target them with the card even though they've never bought from you. So you're starting with warmer acquisition, and then you work your way up to cold acquisition. So lookalike prospecting. We know thousands of attributes about your customers, and we can find lookalikes. So think of it like Klaviyo for direct mail on the retention side and Meta for direct mail on the acquisition side. Building lookalike audiences, finding more prospects that look like your best customers. Start low, work your way up.
Have you guys built out these lookalike audiences and tested them? Just brand new audiences, new segments?
We've done it a little bit. Our big plan is to use it for Q4. We have 5 brands, so it makes sense. I know, Michael, you got some catalogs, or sorry to steal your thunder.
Oh, no.
We have a lot of brands, so we're going to use the catalog format and have multiple brands, make it more editorial and do a retargeting, but also prospecting campaign. We have data from Revenue Roll, we have data from Klaviyo, and obviously PostPilot. So we're going to make a big push for Q4.
I was somewhat suspicious of it, to be honest with you. At every campaign, I want to see like what's going on, how are the numbers overall, and so I did not roll it out yet. But we have already spoken about it. We plan to roll it out. The mail match is what I love. I love mail match. I love the birthday flow, obviously, the suppressed list. But yeah, the next thing we're going to do is the lookalike audiences.
And I think for us as well, similar, we want to really drive it in Q4, which for us means testing it in Q3. So we have some really big testing pieces coming down the pike.
Amazing. I think one of the best parts about direct mail is, unlike Facebook or Google, your CPMs don't go up, right? The cost of paper, the cost of postage isn't going to 5x just because it's Black Friday.
No, it's a forever stamp.
It's a forever stamp, exactly. How do you think about like offers that work well on direct mail? Do you find that there's specific offers or specific merchandising that does differently for direct mail than does on Meta or Google or on your own website?
So I think for us, at least, what's worked really well is what's worked well on Meta, but in a slightly different format. So for us, in the world of skincare, when we sell a single product, we can do that well, but selling a bundle on Meta works really well for us from the unit economic perspective. In direct mail, it kills it because it is sort of feels more personalized. Hey, we have this bundle. It is to get your healthiest skin ever, really drive that messaging home around why all of these products work together. They have more engagement with the content than they would scrolling through the feed. You don't really have to worry about thumb stop. They've pulled you out of the list already, out of the mailbox already. So it really allows us to sell a wider assortment at one time, which is really powerful for us. I think that's why we're really excited for the Advent Calendar push.
A lot of it is cross-selling for us. We'll offer the same discount to one brand's list, obviously showing taffy.com has the same discount as licorice.com. So that's been most effective for us right now.
We haven't pushed a lot of campaigns outside of the birthday campaign that I mentioned. We've done one campaign where we knew we had a lot of stock and we pushed it out. We haven't offered a lot of discounts yet, but we're working on it.
Michael, from your standpoint, what kind of offers or merchandising do you see work the best or perform the best?
Yeah, so really replicating the things that are working in other channels. A lot of folks think, oh, I've got to go way heavier on a discount through direct mail, or I've got to I'm not a discount-oriented brand, but I shouldn't send direct mail because I don't want to send a discount. No, you're fine. Replicate what's consistent with your brand. So if you have a welcome offer or you have a welcome sequence and you're offering, you have an offer at the end of that sequence, replicate that with direct mail. We don't say use a smaller offer than you're used to using elsewhere, but you don't need to go big. We have brands, Jones Road, for example, had a killer campaign, no offer, and they were doing a gift with purchase during a special holiday period. They replicated the gift with purchase offer in their campaign, and it just crushed. So you don't need to go crazy. We don't recommend it. We want you to be profitable. So it's more about just getting that offer in front of the people that aren't seeing it and engaging with it through these other channels, more than saying we need to go more aggressive on discounts just to get them to convert. That's not the strategy.
You may not like this, but we did test the go less on the offer, and it worked just as well for us. So especially on win back, we went from 20 to 15 and didn't see a degradation. And so really able to win that piece back. And those are people who had gotten our Klaviyo win back at 20 as well and skipped it.
Love it. Even better.
Fantastic to see.
Test it. If you can get away with more profit dollars, less discount, all day. Absolutely.
Do you see a lot of brands still leveraging the handwritten notes?
Yeah. So really popular with the birthday campaigns and other like VIP touch points. So we have the robotic tech that literally holds a pen to paper and writes with all the nuance of human handwriting, like it's all wavy and letters are connected and all that stuff. So how often do any of you get a handwritten letter in the mail? Like almost never, right? Like I don't think my mom even sends me handwritten birthday cards anymore. So when you get it, you open it, you read it about 100% of the time. It's a great touch point for VIPs. So not the thing that you need to use for standard win-back campaigns and general things like that, but VIP experience, somebody just placed their 5th order from you, somebody just bought $500 from you, somebody's birthday is coming up. Great touch point.
It's like a plain text postcard almost.
Totally.
How do you guys track effectiveness of your campaigns? Are you looking at discount code uses? Are you looking at URLs? Are you making special landing pages? Do you look at address validation? How do you do that?
So I think PostPilot makes it really easy to do. I think they will do both the discount code tracking, which I think is the lowest, most conservative estimate. They'll also track purchases to that address. So I think that's a really strong way to see really reasonable attribution. And then as well, we work with them on holdout tests. So we'll target an audience and we'll hold out 3-5% so that we can see that lift. And across all of those, every single time, we see great success.
Yeah, we're doing the same 33% holdout. We're doing discount code matching, and the success of it comes from how easy it is to use too. Like 5 brands going on 8. God knows how many more our founders are buying at the moment right now. I need something that's going to save me time and money and make us money, and it checks all those boxes.
Yeah, just right in a dashboard. So you see all that ROAS in real time, incrementality if you're measuring that, all in a real-time dashboard. So you're not doing like the spreadsheets back and forth or waiting 60, 90 days for results to come in.
From a creative standpoint, what do you find works really well on direct mail? Like, is it the same thing that's running on Facebook, just formatted differently? Or what do you find does well on direct mail? Or even different formats? Like, are there different types of postcards or catalogs or, trifolds that do well?
Yeah. So think of it like a Facebook ad, a meta ad, right? Like you want to scroll stop. Somebody's going through their mail. You want to capture their attention. Think of it like clean, simple, catches their attention, like a simple hook. Don't make it overly cluttered. But we also have, if you need it, we have full in-house creative that does all the designs for probably 95% of the brands. They're really, really good. And that way it just takes it off your shoulders, and we know what works really well. So really easy. They'll make sure that it follows our best practices. We have personalization, so you can greet people by name dynamically on each card. That's a great way to get good engagement. And then format-wise, funny you ask, because I might have a couple samples with me. Just so you can just see some examples. This is like a 6x9 postcard. This is what we call our catalog format, which is like a larger trifold. And this is a special one. This is actually what we call our shared catalog. So this is a newer product that we just released pretty recently. And essentially, we can take really targeted audiences, think expectant mothers, golf enthusiasts, outdoor enthusiasts, new moms, paleo diet, find a very curated list of brands that we work with that are going to fit that exact persona and allow you to share in like more of a magazine editor pick style format. So this was actually designed by Dwell and Domino magazine editors. And what this allows you to do is share the cost, the fixed cost of postage and printing across multiple brands. So you can get like a big placement in this for like 10 cents. Or you could send it, you could have a dedicated one and that's like 80 cents. And then we've rolled out additional formats. So different postcard sizes. There's a new mini catalogs that we offered, 16 pages. You're paying like under 70 cents for this all in. So we're going to come up with like the right strategy, the right format based on the type of audience that you're targeting. Is this a retention audience? All you really need is a nudge with a postcard. Is this a cold prospecting audience? You really need a larger format so that you can educate brands, educate prospects about your brand, show them a larger assortment of your product. It's about finding the right fit for the type of strategy, and we want to help you do that.
Rick from Four Sigmatic earlier mentioned that direct mail was one of his highest incremental channels. How do you guys plan to leverage direct mail during Black Friday and holiday season this year?
I think not only during Black Friday and holiday season, but also election season. I think the biggest benefit to direct mail is the fact that it does not suffer the same rising costs of CPMs that everyone else is funneling billions of dollars into the ecosystem. So for us, it's a great way to reallocate some of that spend that we would be putting to Meta or we'd be putting to linear, where we want to make certain we're spreading that across a much more effective medium at that time.
I might hit a little earlier this year because we launched a campaign in November last year and we crushed it during that week with the campaign. It was really the first thing we'd ever done with them. So this year we might push it a little earlier. We were also we're talking about maybe a trifold or a catalog. We haven't sealed it up yet, but we're looking at it right now. The biggest for us, I think the biggest thing is, we can lay off on them a lot of work. Like you were asking about those, what kind of artwork? We usually just drop our emails we'll just send the email to them and say, hey, listen, what do you think of this artwork? And then they spit back something for us to approve it. That's like easy for us. That's the way we like to do it.
Yeah, we're going to do heavy on segmentation. We're going to go after people who purchased in 2023 over the holidays, haven't purchased since 2022 and beyond that. And obviously, like I said, the gift receivers, people who have received a lot of gifts from us, were 50% self-consumption, 50% gifting. We're going to hit them. Did you enjoy your gift? Pass on the love, that kind of thing.
One thing I'll say, because we learned this lesson last Black Friday, it does, unless you have a very specific direct mail offer, it does potentially hold your marketing calendar more rigid. So we saw some challenges in Black Friday and we switched some things around and we forgot about the direct mail piece. So the dates on it were reversed and wrong, which definitely hurt us a little bit. So we're going to have a separate code and a separate unlock offer. So I think the GWP offer is a great example of that will be specific to the direct mail so that we still have that flexibility in Q4.
Michael, last question. There's a ton of brands in here that are heavily spending on Facebook and Google, probably maybe TikTok, maybe Snap. How do you encourage them to give a test to direct mail?
I mean, we make it really easy. There's no minimum and there's no commitment. We can get you up and running by the weekend if you wrote us now. So, I mean, that's really what we're all about. Like I've lived in all of your shoes for a long time. Like we want to make it really fast and easy. That's our mantra, and just let you test out the channel with a very small commitment. If you want to just dip your toes in it. Get the results, bank those wins, and then you're going to be coming to us asking, how do we scale this thing up a lot, way bigger and faster? Because we've seen it a million times. But it's really easy to start, and you should really be thinking today, especially about how to diversify your mix. and build a more resilient business. So thinking, how do I find new customers outside of Meta and TikTok? And this is a legit, compelling, and profitable channel for you to explore.
Yeah, I can't recommend it enough. I've seen it with Jolie, Feastables, Hexclad. Works every time. Highly recommend you check it out. That's all the time we've got today. Thank you, guys.
Thanks.